We do want to turn now to new Twitter CEO Elon Musk, creating a firestorm of tweets over the weekend, posting memes and repeating a popular right-wing talking point to prosecute Dr. Anthony Fauci. This is videos posted to Twitter this week and show Musk getting invited on stage by comedian Dave Chappelle and then booed by the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
Chappelle then joked about the mixed reaction and kept Elon on stage with him.
It sounds like some of them people you fired in the audience.
In response, Musk tweeted in part, quote, technically it was 90% cheers and 10% boos. It's almost as if I offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists, but nah. So to talk about all of this and more, I want to bring in Alex Heath. He's deputy editor for The Verge. He's been covering Musk's Twitter takeover for months. Alex, welcome to Top Story. Since acquiring Twitter, Elon Musk has been trying to shake up the platform, right? He recently promoted the release of what he's been calling the Twitter files, how Twitter decided to censor the New York Post story on Hunter Biden's laptop. Then this weekend tweeting, my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. He's also been tweeting about the left, like saying the woke mind virus is either defeated or nothing else matters. So I guess, Alex, my question to you is, what is the play here? What is he trying to do? Is he trying to win over conservatives to bring them back to Twitter?
It's so hard to even predict what's going on in Elon Musk's head when he tweets these things. I think he's realized that he has lost a lot of the left, and he's leaning into the kind of comments that you talked about, also insinuating that his former head of trust and safety at Twitter, who he elevated himself when he took over, was somehow sympathetic to pedophilia. So I think really he's trying to stoke drama, and he's realized that drama in social media means business. And I think he wants people on Twitter. He needs people on Twitter to pay off what was the largest single buyout of a company by an individual.
Yeah, so I want to ask you about that. Why do you think Elon Musk bought Twitter? Solely to, quote unquote, own the libs, if you will, or was it to own the conversation? Because it doesn't feel like he bought it to turn it around and make even more money.
Well, he says he's owning it because he wants it to become the town square. He wants it to be a place where anyone can have what he calls, quote, free speech. But, you know, free speech under the richest man in the world, what does that really look like? We're seeing the kind of speech that he's encouraging. And I think there's a lot of, obviously, reservations. You could hear it in the crowd there at Chappelle, or people who, you know, aren't a fan of how he's been running Twitter. That said, he absolutely needs Twitter to make money. He just relaunched paid verification on Twitter today. After he did that the first time, it led to rampant impersonation of even Twitter advertisers. And now he's hoping that this time that won't happen. But he needs Twitter to make money because he has billions and billions of dollars in debt that he has to pay back on this acquisition.
How's Twitter doing since he took it over?
Financially, not well. And in meetings to employees that I've obtained recordings of, he said, look, we may go into bankruptcy. We really have to be, quote, hardcore. He's having employees work in the office. There's beds in the office. He himself has been sleeping in the Twitter office. And this is a playbook he's rolled out at Tesla, at SpaceX, at his other companies when they've had critical moments of inflection. But I think the optics of it are the richest man in the world buying this thing that he actually tried to get out of buying. If people remember, he tried to back out of this deal and then was forced essentially to buy Twitter. And now, you know, firing over half the company in a pretty cold way and then doxing former employees in the Twitter files that are also low level. I mean, I just saw reporting today that the former head of trust and safety had to flee his home because of the threats he was getting from Musk insinuating that he was somehow, you know, sympathetic to pedophilia.
But, Alex, are people engaging more on this site? I mean, is everything he's doing leading to, I don't know, a more active Twitter?
What I was saying about drama being good business for social media, it turns out that at least in the short term, that is true for Twitter. If you trust Musk, you know, Twitter is a black box now. It's not a public company. These numbers aren't audited. He says that the user base is the highest it's ever been. That's actually a problem for him, though, because Twitter's advertisers are fleeing. They've lost a lot of advertisers. Musk has been open about this. And so when you have more users, you have higher costs to run the business, like for server bills, for example, but he's also losing revenue. So he really needs people to pay for verification, for Twitter Blue. And so far, we haven't seen evidence that people will. They just re-rolled it out today, though.
So, Alex, you know, he has an incredible history of success, whether it be with PayPal or Tesla. I'm wondering what the long-term play here, though, is with Twitter, and he's getting so involved politically. He's a natural-born U.S. citizen. He's not a natural-born U.S. citizen, I should say, so he can't run for president. But do you think Musk has larger political ambitions?
I don't. I think he's a capitalist and a technologist and an engineer. I think he sees the value of owning what is his most critical source of distribution. He is Twitter's top user, its most active, influential user. We have never in the history of technology had the richest man in the world, who is also the most active user of a platform, own it and control it as singularly as he is doing now. You can't even really compare it to Zuckerberg and Facebook, I would say. And so I think he sees it, Tesla doesn't pay for marketing. He sees it as a marketing channel. He sees it as a way to talk directly to his base. And as we see with his comments recently, he's realizing that his base is perhaps the right, and he's leaning into that.
That's actually a fascinating point. I didn't think about this, but you're right. He is becoming the brand of Twitter. Alex Heath from The Verge, thank you so much for this really smart talk tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.